Hello and welcome to Seagulls Social Season 2, Episode 9. I'm your host Maz, of course, and I'm joined by the boys, Ben and Ryan. How are we, chaps? We all good?
Buzzing.
We
Top
are
4.
the champions,
Oh shit, oh fuck's sake.
my friends. And we'll keep on Get in there.
Yeah. It's like he's trying to rub it in that Seagulls Social didn't win.
Nah, mate.
Not
It's
at all.
rigged.
I'm
Fucking
absolutely
Arsenal.
buzzing.
No, I'm
Absolutely
joking. No,
buzzing.
No, big congratulations to Ryan. Ryan,
Yeah.
let's just because fill in people, because obviously a lot of people might have missed it or not aware of what War won. So just fill in the people about what happened on the when was it? Thursday last week?
Thursday night under the lights.
Lifetime ago, doesn't it? Yeah, Ben, it feels like a while ago. I don't know about you, mate, but it seems to have just been a complete flash. But yeah, it was a good day, good night. Obviously met Ben. We went to the FCA's awards finals. We were there for Seagulls Social and TSR. So obviously Seagulls Social made the top 3, which is kind of annoying because I literally didn't even know who the people are that won it. And I don't want to be calling out podcast beef, but genuinely I'd never heard of them in my life. But to be fair, now there was some good podcasts on there. But
Hamill was saying to us there, wasn't he? He was saying like there's a lot of AFTV bias and Arsenal bias there. Which is,
there's definitely a lot of
like, the 4 years that he's been there. He said that's
didn't
literally
they scoop like nearly like 10 awards between them or something?
Yeah, it's mad.
Or, like something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for
TSR,
Ryan, there was no Arsenal stuff in your category.
No Arsenal stuff. No, but we did manage to get, I think, off the top of my head, 6 awards, which included 3 golds, 2 silvers and a bronze, or it could be 2. It might even be another bronze in there as well. So I'm pretty sure it's either 6 or 7 awards, 10 finalist nominations. So absolutely mad. But here's the literally it was unbelievable. And obviously Isaac shouted United Cloud for winning best young content creator as well. That was unreal. But yeah. Big up the boys. We are the best in social for small to medium business. We beat literally Mundial straight offside. Like Talk Chelsea, Deluded Brendan, like some of the biggest names in that industry. What a moment.
I don't understand why Mundial was considered a small to. I don't really understand. I'm sure they're a bit bigger, aren't they?
No idea. Well, it says a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just to say a lot. Just says a lot that I think who was it? I think it was Zach, your guy Zach, Ryan. He was like he pointed out that he was like the best independent or one of the best like new creators or something like that, or some other award like that. Yeah, the person that won it last year as well. So like, how was he the best new creator to 2 years in a row?
I heard about this.
Well, it's because
and he was an Arsenal content creator as well.
Apparently what they did was the 2019 nominations were allowed to be left in. So maybe at that point, because obviously, COVID and all that, no one was actually at the awards last year. So apparently they were allowed to use the 2019 nominations too. Don't know how that really works, but I'm not complaining because we started in 2020. So
you done well.
A bit bizarre.
A year on and we're already award winners, 6-time award winners actually across the network. Like that is... Oh, I don't even know. I'm literally lost for words. But yeah, I wanted to say thank you to everyone that voted and everyone that supports not only me but everyone on TSO and obviously Seagulls Social as well. It's honestly absolutely
So big
mental.
thanks to getting us there.
I think just to reiterate, like the fact that we've been made it to the awards, like that's mad. Like again, like similar to TSR, we've only been around for over a year, if that. So the fact that the fact that we even got nominated, I think that just speaks volumes. And I'm very confident we can get nominated again and actually make a top 3 next year. So boys, everyone, again, appreciate everyone getting us involved, and of course, big congratulations to TSR boys as well, killing the game. Boys. Smashing it and onwards.
Don't know where Hub Football's awards were though. I was just trying to find Hub Football. I couldn't see them anywhere. No idea where they were.
What's this beef you got with Hub Football? I don't get it. What have they done to you? Ryan? Have they hurt you in any shape?
Yeah. What genuinely? Like, what have they done?
If I should say this on the podcast, to be honest.
Nah, maybe not.
We'll crack on with more pressing matters anyway.
We'll stay professional. Stay professional.
Yeah, we'll stay professional. And anyway, so back to the football then. So of course, let's quickly, boys, because we got a bit of stick on socials for our comments last week. Well, I say our comments. It was more you and Ryan, Ben and Ryan's comments about Norwich. We got a lot of stick on socials.
I think it was a group thing because even at the beginning, of the preview that went semi-viral with the Norwich stuff.
I did.
You were like Norwich. We should be beating.
I was going to say, it's not just us. Jeez.
Well, I mean, to be fair, in the clip that you posted, Ben, on Twitter, you didn't have my score prediction. which I actually said 1-0, which obviously didn't happen. Right. But like, I think Ryan went 4-0.
Ryan actually taking the podcast mic out of the stand, probably the nail in the coffin for all Norwich fans that were like, we will not lose to Norwich.
To be fair, Ryan was very clever with his wording because he said, I won't be on the podcast if we lose. He didn't say... Yeah, so he was very clever.
I thought if we didn't win, I was like, oh god. I thought, oh no, am I going to miss an episode? But luckily, I said if we lose. But do you know what, that was funny? So Chris Reeve, shout out Chris Reeve, he's a great guy. But obviously, Talk Norwich City. I went on their podcast literally like a few days ago. Obviously, that come out on I think the Thursday. And I told him to watch this podcast, like the podcast of the Norwich game. And I said, clip to the end. I said, you don't have to watch the whole thing, just watch to the end. We talked about the little preview of Norwich. And he literally had never seen it before. And he was like, oh my God. So if you see the video between me and Chris, literally we're just going at it for like a solid 20 minutes. It's hilarious. But then I actually saw Chris at the game against Norwich because I made the trip up to Norwich. And I saw Chris. And he was in the Norwich end. No, I saw him from his seat. And he literally sits like where the away end is. I was right at the end of the away end, like next to the home fans. So it was it was a bit like the Palace sort of, you can see right at them. And I spotted Chris and he was messaging me saying like, are you here and stuff? So I messaged him. I was like, if you look literally behind that like green pole, I'm right there. And we just saw each other and it was just like exchanging banter throughout the whole thing. But no, it's quite funny. But to be honest, it's probably the biggest highlight of the whole day because the game was so dead. But that's
the thing. Like, I was at Ascot, and like I've only just checked, and I was looking at the message request, and I saw that Let's Talk Norwich. Is that his page?
Yeah.
Talk Norwich City, I think.
Talk Norwich.
Yeah, so they posted our video or our preview, I think, on their story, I believe. Well, they posted something about us because they tagged us.
Yeah.
I never
told them to put it on there.
What was it? Was it our preview?
It was the preview. Yeah,
I told them to put the Norwich clip. Yeah. And that's why all the Norwich fans saw it.
Yeah.
Because I sent it to Chris and I said,
the guy on Twitter,
before I forget,
the guy on Twitter that was like quote tweeted it and he was like, on paper we've got a better team than Brighton. I was like, are you actually joking? Like that is the worst shout ever.
Mate, he got cooked. Like, he got cooked on the timeline.
He
like literally, I think he had about 40 quote tweets.
Yeah,
I think he had 40 quote tweets of just people just going, mate, like too far, step too far. But yeah, I mean, look, we didn't cover ourselves in glory. I mean, it was quite an evenly contested game. I don't think there was anyone really like, could you come out of the game saying we deserved it? I suppose, Ryan, I'd be interested to hear from you first. Obviously, you were there first hand watching it. Do you think we deserved to get the win? I know obviously we had a big penalty shout, which we will get onto. But yeah, what was your sort of overall summary of the game?
I think, to be honest, if anyone deserved something, it's probably Norwich, really. I think like we had a couple of chances, but in total, I'd say Norwich were better than us in a lot of areas of the game. To be honest, I thought Matthias Norman was unreal. I thought he literally run the game, and he was obviously up for it. You could tell he really wanted to get a goal because he had a few runs and tried to shoot a couple of times. You can tell he was really like wanting to get a bit back on Brighton, maybe for releasing him. But no, I thought he was really good. Like he was so techy, he had a good first touch. His skill was unreal. I think.
Oh, when he nutmeg Moda.
Moda was it?
I watched that clip because that's the clip that Norwich City posted on Twitter, right? And it was something like the caption was something like determination, versatility, or something like that. Like it was something quite big. I was like, don't get me wrong, it was pretty cool. Like his skill was good, but he just ran to the corner. He didn't do anything. Like,
he just juggling the ball opposite getting the goal.
I was like, all right,
the thing is,
like
just
it's a good piece of skill.
That, I think it was literally just before he like played a ball with like the outside of his foot. And because I was right behind it, I could sort of see it a little bit nicer, and it literally just like curled like that. Like those really satisfying like half volley passes. And he did like 2 or 3 of those, and he was just taking us apart. To be honest, he was winning everything. But yeah, can we sign him back?
Like you said,
can we get him back if they get relegated? I was
going to say he's like you said earlier, Ryan. He's obviously up for it because of being at the club before, not getting any game time. Like he must have just had a point to prove. And he looks like a great player. And even all the Norwich fans are like, oh, we got because he's only on loan, isn't he? I'm pretty sure he's not actually signed for them.
Oh, I thought they signed. Is
I could be wrong. I'm 99% sure because I saw someone comment like, oh, why do we loan him, kind of thing. Let me have a look.
I don't know.
Sure
what you're saying.
I agree. He's on loan from Rostov.
Is it just a loan? Oh, that's even better.
Yeah, from
That's
Rostov,
even funnier that their best players on
loan. We'll snap him up then.
But I agree, Ryan. Yeah, Norwich completely deserve to win that. But the beautiful thing about it is that we played arguably our worst that we have this season, maybe on par with Everton, maybe. And Norwich had their best performance of the season, and they still couldn't beat us. You know what I mean? Like, there's levels to the game.
Also as well, Sargent as well. He had that big chance to the open goal, and then and how he didn't like. He looked like, for me personally. So when I was watching it, I was like, it looks like he just tried to pass it. Like, you know, like I know obviously he's just trying to sort of strike. He's going for accuracy, obviously over power, which I get. But then at the same time, he's just literally stroked it with, like, as if he's just doing a back pass. Literally. To try and get that in from there and from the angle, surely you have to put a bit of power on.
Yeah,
because then
was
it Duffy? I think it was. He wouldn't have a chance. Wouldn't have a chance to block it and get it out. So
he's American.
Sargent's American.
Josh Sargent, man. Really. Yeah, literally.
He deserves it for calling it soccer. That's what you get for calling football soccer, man. But so that was a big chance for Norwich, obviously. And then let's talk about the big talking point of the game, because there wasn't else much really to talk about. But the Morpay penalty. Now, there's been a lot of split sort of opinions on this one. Now, I've watched it a few times. I personally think it was a penalty. However, Ben, what do you think? Do you think it was a pen? No pen?
Yeah, 100% a pen. 100% a pen. Very, like, you know, it's soft. Don't get me wrong. Like, Neil, you could have easily have continued standing on your feet. I'm not saying Neil would have gone on to score the goal there because the ball got away from him, but obviously Neil had to go down to give the the referee the choice of thinking, he's gone down. There must have been some sort of contact. If he stayed up, it's one of them ones where there would have been any conversation of a penalty. It's just one of them things where you have to go down. Definitely a penalty.
I think
God knows how they looked at that and didn't think it was.
Do you know what it is? Well, first of all, I want to know, was it reviewed by VAR? Because I swear, like, sometimes there's been a couple of decisions in the past where they, like, sort of, I feel like they don't review certain things. Like, I don't know, it's weird. I'm sure it would have been. But however, I was a bit, like, when you watch that on replay, surely you see that.
Jeff Stelling was saying, when he done his rant, he was like, the VAR have looked at that 10 times and they still haven't said it. Like, that's when, even if Jeff Stelling's doing a rant for you for a club he doesn't even support, you know you fucked up.
Yeah, that is true. And Ryan, what was it like in the stadium? Like, did all the away fans go mad, or what was it like in the stadium when it happened?
It was a bit. I was torn because I thought Mopé should have just shot first time. Like, as soon as he was slipped through, I thought he should have just banged it. But then obviously I was on the other side of the pitch, so I couldn't really see too much. But then as soon as he went down, I'd said penalty, but because as you do. But then I did genuinely thought, because I thought, surely he wouldn't go down for no reason. You know, you're in that sort of position. Why would you take a tumble and not think you've been fouled? I don't know. I wouldn't think you'd dive in that situation. Yeah. But when I watched it back sort of later on, I still thought he clipped him. And I don't get why, you know, he would go down if he didn't get clipped, because it was a goal scoring opportunity. I don't think he would have missed that should he met the ball. So, yeah, I found it a bit of a strange one. I thought, if anything, it was a penalty, but we can't really complain too much with VAR, because obviously what happened with Leicester and all that, you know, we've had a few things go our way recently. But I did think it was a pen, if I'm honest. But you know, swings and roundabouts.
He got away from Grant Hanley quite easily.
Grant Hanley.
So I'm still in Josh Sargent mode. He got away from Grant pretty easily, but yeah, he did. And then Grant was like stumbling towards him, and then obviously Krul brings it down. But on Grant Hanley, how did he play?
He's pretty solid, to be honest. Like, I thought, because I was expecting him to have a right stinker when you were literally ripping into him, saying he's like the worst centre back in the league. But generally, I thought
the handling agenda, I thought he was really random.
Yeah,
it is really random.
He handled everything quite well. I thought.
On one.
You didn't even hear my little pun then. I said I think he handled everything quite well, but no. I thought it was alright. It's quite solid. Get out. But yeah,
take his award back. Take his award back.
It's an award-winning joke, by the way. But no, I thought it was alright, to be honest. But yeah, Norwich deservedly probably should have got better off than us, because can we actually talk about as well Dan Burn? Oh my god, he had a really good game again, and the 2 tackles he put in.
Those tackles are unbelievable.
How did he get to those? Yeah, they're unreal.
I'll tell you what,
they're Lewis Dunk tackles them.
Yeah, he's really come on, isn't he, this season? Like, I think with obviously Webster being out, he's probably thought, right, I need to step up here, because he's got his fair bit of criticism in the past, and I think he doesn't really obviously no player wants that. No player wants to go into a game thinking, am I going to mess up? Are the fans going to get on my back? Like, all that kind of stuff. And I feel like he's really bounced back in that sense, like, as in he's got better. I'm always critical of it. Well, I have been in the past, and I just feel like the last 2 games he's been unreal.
Yeah,
like against Arsenal, he was top class, and again against Norwich, he was brilliant.
He's coming for Webdini. He's coming for Webdini and turned into Dan Burnedini. Can I get an award there?
I genuinely think that No, you don't. I thought that Burns probably playing with so much more confidence this year because, like, apart from the time where he got skinned a little bit by Saka, pretty much every time he's played this season, I thought he's been really strong. And you know, I wouldn't say that he's been within the chance of starting either. Obviously, with Cucurella being signed, I thought, you know, that was the nail in the coffin for him. But then he's still, you know, making appearances. I know that Webster's been
but he's
out,
a left centre back though. Like we signed him as a left centre back. So like I feel like he's finally playing in a position that he's meant to be playing, not where he should be all the time.
100%.
Where he should be more consistently, and that's obviously it's clearly benefiting him from that.
I think
he's a centre back at the end of the day.
That's the thing, nail on the head. I think like the fact we were playing at left wing back, it was never going to cover himself in glory. Like he was always going to get outpaced by
fair play to
pacey
him,
wingers.
What he done it there. Most of the time.
Yeah, no, exactly. I feel a bit bad now because I think that was a big factor in the reason why he was playing badly is because he was out of position and simple as that. And also as well,
we would always give him the benefit of the doubt though. Like I remember when we would slate him, we would always end up saying, "Well, he's playing out of position." Like, we would
sure.
I think it was always clear that Potter didn't want to use March left wing back because he did everything he could to not do it. Like he would play Burn there, even though I thought March was like our best left wing back last year. He just didn't want to play him there, did he? He just really didn't want to put him there. But actually, speaking of March, I don't know why we bought off Cucurella against Norwich. I didn't understand that. I thought he was playing all right.
Yeah, apparently had a really good first half, didn't he?
Yeah, I thought he was quite good. Probably one of our better players. I didn't know why.
Maybe he's just trying to
managing game time.
Managing game time. That's it. Yeah, I was trying to
March, don't get me wrong. March was pretty decent when he came on. He made a few decent crosses and stuff like that. Let's talk about the Mopé sitter. That was pretty much great from March. Decent play down the left-hand side. Between
great ball in as well.
And March, yeah, great ball in.
Yeah.
And he also done another one where he like drilled it across the box. So I think he just went through everyone.
Yeah. March has a really good way of dribbling where he seems to have the ball stick to his feet. So when he gets the ball, he seems to be able to dribble through players and he doesn't look like he's going to lose it. But then it's just that final end product. But I thought against Norwich, he definitely had the end product. It was just so frustrating. That chance with Mopé, I thought that was
shame Neil didn't have the end product.
That's what we're going to. Yeah,
he was after the City. He was walking back,
season,
Mopé. Yeah, he was walking back and he was like looking at. He was looking at his teammates, being like, "Oh fuck, I've really missed that." Oh, there's a clip where it zooms in on his face. He's looking at everyone like, "Oh shit, I really fucking should have scored that."
That's the thing, though. Imagine he'd done that last season. Imagine how much we would be on his back. Like we would be like, "Oh, sell him, like get him out of the club." And like, it's just funny how things can change so quickly in football. It's like even 2 months ago, 3 months ago,
when you're in form, you give him the benefit. Of the doubt.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, he'll score next game." Like he's playing
still
well.
Fourth in the league.
Goals.
It's all right,
Exactly. Just quickly. Just before I sort of forget, with going back to the Dan Burn thing, I was just thinking, I had a bit of a theory with Dan Burn. I'm thinking, do you reckon that his sort of upturn in form coincides with Shane Duffy's like upturn in form as well? The fact that he's sort of seen Shane Duffy, come back from what he's come back from, like playing well, and he's sort of given him maybe the sort of, not the confidence, but sort of giving him an example. Oh well, if Shane Duffy can come back and do it, why can't I sort of bounce back? Because I know this haven't had the similar path in terms of what's happened to Shane Duffy, with the personal losses and bad form at Celtic, etc. But it's still sort of similar in terms of he had a bit of bad form. A lot of people on his back. Do you think he would have got a bit
another? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if bringing in Cucurella, he probably thought, well, my time up here is probably done. Like, because if I'm not going to be playing left wing back anymore, because that was the only position I was playing last season. But yeah, he's clearly hasn't given up like Shane Duffy didn't.
Seems to have been a theme of Potter's reign, really, doesn't it? Where these players keep coming back and surprising us. It's happened again with Burn. He's done it before. He's done it again. March has done it again.
He's done it again.
He's done Harry Kane. He's done it again.
But I think it's just another one of those Potter stories that he's so good at doing every single time. I don't doubt anything anymore. I just sort of let it happen now.
You can't be doubting Potter anymore.
In Potter we trust, mate. And then of course Lamptey as well. Great to see him back. Obviously, with regards to Lamptey, how big of an impact is that going to have with regards to having Lamptey on the right, Cucurella on the left? How much better can we be?
The reception that Lamptey got was so good. When he come on, like literally the whole away stand was just singing one Tarek Lamptey, and it was so nice because he deserves that sort of warm appreciation. I thought when he come on, like it was almost like a new signing really, because not everyone's seen him play yet, so it was a bit like it's almost like we've signed someone new, but we know he's good. So it was really nice to see him come on and just get that really nice warm appreciation from everyone. And he had a few touches. Like, it was quite clear we were trying to give it to him quite a lot as soon as he come on, because
do something. He had the pace. Just prodding him.
It was literally just like, come on, Tarek, do something. But it looked like they just tried to man mark him out of the game a bit, to be fair, because I think maybe Norwich saw what he did last season and the season before and just thought, we can't be dealing with that at the minute. Let's just chuck 2 or 3 men on him and just make sure we slide him out. But
I heard a few fans saying that he he looked a bit like, obviously just coming back from injury, he might be a bit scared of doing it again, but apparently he's like a bit like standoffish when like maybe a risk that he would have taken last year or last season when he's on form. Yeah, he got potentially pulled out. Is that actually true? Did he? Well,
he definitely looks like he's taking it easy. I wouldn't be surprised if he's been told to as well, because you obviously don't want to get rushed back in and then start, going for it full on and then, potentially hurt yourself for another year and a half, because that's just not what anyone wants. So I can see why
that doesn't continue though. You don't want him to like now constantly think, oh, I'm not going to go for that run or die run, or I'm not going to go.
It's a confidence thing as well, isn't it? He's got to get that confidence back. Once he's got it back, I've got no doubts that Tarek's going to be a good player. It's just hopefully that he stays fit. That's the only worry for him.
I do. I'm scared. I am genuinely scared that this might be like a thing, a consistent thing where he might
like a recurring injury. Yeah,
I really pray that he doesn't. But
I'm the same as you, Ben. I'm the same as you. I feel like just because it was a hamstring injury, wasn't it? It was a hamstring injury that he initially got, and I think Will Buckley was saying to us the other week, like, it's potentially one of those injuries that can keep coming back at you and keep hindering you. So it's like just hearing it from and seeing it from past players, especially people that are, players that are quick, they're notoriously known, aren't they, for sort of getting injured with a hamstring or some kind of muscular, basically snapping of the ligaments or whatever, just because how quick they are, and the body just can't handle it sometimes. So I am slightly worried. However, we wish him obviously all the best with regards to that. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But I mean, you never know in football. But fingers crossed, he's all Gucci.
Let us know in the comments if you're worried as well, or if you have zero worries about Lamptey.
Yeah, let us know, mate. Let us know. And then, boys, let's talk about our recent results, I suppose. Because I'm just looking at it. We've had three draws on the bounce now. 1-1 with Palace, 0-0 with Arsenal, 0-0 with Norwich. Now, a lot of fans were like, "Oh, well, you should be beating Norwich, etc., etc." And obviously, we were like that as well before the game. However, looking back now in hindsight, a draw against, it's not the best.
A draw away from home. I'm always going to think positively. We're fourth in the table. A draw away from home. 13 clean sheets in 2021. Just look at the positives. And we are.
It's a point away from home in a game where we didn't deserve anything again. It's another point. It's another point towards wherever we're going to finish at the end of the year. Well. So we haven't gone out and lost. I think on another day you lose that game probably 9 times out of 10. To be honest, with the amount of chances that we gave away, particularly on the wings, they seem to just be roasting us every single time on the counter attack. And it just. I think with in general, if you can pick up points away from home and then win your home matches, you're always going to be in a pretty good position at the end of the year. So I don't think anyone's going to be concerned. I think Chris actually asked that question as well, saying, is this a cause for concern, the amount of draws? But you'd rather draw the games than lose them. We've only lost once this season, and that was to Everton. Yeah. So it's the difference. So I've got so much confidence, honestly. I think going into Man City as well, I have a good feeling about it. Like, I know that's really bold because obviously it's Man City, but like there's again, I don't think there's any reason to not be positive at the moment. Like we haven't played well at Norwich, but we've got a point. And as you say, it's probably the best that Norwich have played all season, and they didn't even score against us. So okay, probably they should have tucked that chance away, particularly the Sargent one, but they didn't. So you know what I mean. So I think going into City, you've got to be positive. You've got to be positive. You know what we're like at home, under the floodlights. There's a bit of atmosphere around. Everyone's a little bit, a bit apprehensive for it. I think that there's nothing to lose either going into Man City. We're probably expected to lose the game, so anything's a bonus really. So if we can get some of that City going into Liverpool after, you're thinking pretty positively.
Before we do the City preview later, I just want to talk about Sanchez though, because obviously these 13 clean sheets this year have been unbelievable, and you can argue that was since he's coming in really and been in the team. So I was watching Adam McDonald's live stream on Seagulls Social. I think someone brought up the topic of Sanchez having like mistakes in him. Like, do you think that he does have mistakes in him as a keeper, or would you? Yeah, what do you reckon? Because it did look a bit iffy. He charged out and like kind of swung a leg at it and missed it.
I feel like he does have a little bit in him, but I think that's what makes him a good goalkeeper. He's got that sort of fearlessness. He's got that kind of, he does take risks, which I sort of quite like in a goalkeeper. However, I feel like with time, he's still got a lot to learn. Like, he made that jump from, Rochdale up to the Premier League. Like, it was like a quick sort of progression for him in terms of like jumping levels. So I feel like he's still got a lot to learn. But yeah, but he doesn't feel me. He's not one of those goalkeepers where I'm like, oh shit, I'm really worried about him in the sticks. He doesn't have that. He doesn't strike that fear in me in that sense.
No.
But I do feel like sometimes he does have a bit of a sort of like an moment, But yeah, I don't. He doesn't strike that fear in me. I'm not worried about him when he's in the sticks. If that's sort of what.
And if we look thinking about mistakes he's made, there's only one that comes to my head, and I think it was, I don't remember who it was against, but it's from a corner. And I think he flapped it, completely missed it. Was it Leicester?
Yeah,
I think that's the only like actual mistake. There might be one more, but that's the only one that comes to my mind. So even if he does make a mistake, he makes up for it normally. But yeah, I don't know. What do you reckon, Ryan?
I think with goalkeepers, they've always got a mistake in them, because every player's got a mistake in them, but you wouldn't notice it as much. And I think with goalkeepers, you're always going to notice the mistakes a lot more. And with the one where he sort of missed it against Norwich and probably got away with it big time. Any good striker finishes that, quite comfortably. But I think,
You're saying Josh Sargent is a good striker, Ryan? Oh, send that
have
to
a look
Chris
at that
Reed.
clip and then answer that question for yourself.
I'm joking.
But yeah, I think with goalkeepers, you're always going to notice the mistakes a little bit more, because obviously, if a goalkeeper makes a mistake, it leads to a goal 9 times out of 10. So. If a striker misses something but then they score after, they redeem themselves. Whereas if a goalkeeper makes a mistake and then makes a good save after, they're going to still remember the mistake. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So, we're going back to Leicester, remembering when he flapped it once and they scored. And it's like, but, you can easily remember that, but it's not easy to remember, a good save that he pulled off 3 weeks ago or something. You know what I'm trying to say?
100%.
With goalkeepers, you're always going to know, you're always going to remember the big mistakes. Carriers, for example, in the Champions League final. Everyone's always going to remember those 2 mistakes that he made. Because he did it on a world stage. Mignolet, there's so many big errors that are always going to be
remembered. We're going to have Sanchez doing, we're going to be in the Champions League final, so you never know. Sanchez might have a chance to.
Yeah, that's true.
A few years on. Hopefully he does.
We had that DM from our Aussie fan, didn't he? He was like, Champions League 2025, so that.
Yeah, hopefully we do get to Champions League final, but then Sanchez does the opposite of a Karius thing.
But also on Sanchez, we are so lucky to have like a young keeper with so much potential playing for Spain. By the way, well, in the Spain national team anyway. So he soon will be playing. I'm sure he'll get his chance soon, and yeah. We are so lucky to have him. Like, the only way is up for that boy. He'll be
only
top
way is up.
And the amount of experience he's going to get, even going to these Spanish camps, even if he's not playing, the people he's around is going to be unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, obviously, training with David De Gea and stuff, it must have probably been a dream for him to ever even be in the same room as David De Gea, probably growing up, because obviously De Gea has been one of the best goalkeepers of recent times, so the amount of experience and things he's going to learn from people like that, David De Gea, we refer to him as one of the best goalkeepers probably of this generation, right? Yet, how many mistakes has he made in his time? And Manchester United fans are really the worst for it. Obviously, they'll jump on him straight away. But
in his earlier years,
I'm trying to say,
goalkeepers. Sanchez is in his earlier years. Remember David in his earlier years? Yeah, he used to make loads of mistakes.
Yeah. And then he went on to be like one of the best goalkeepers in the world, for multiple years. So people, as I say, with goalkeepers are always going to remember those errors and sort of things. So yeah, I agree with you on Sanchez though. I think his ceiling's high, and to have that, as Maz said, of that calmness as well is so big for a goalkeeper, especially a young goalkeeper, because I think there's a couple of times against Norwich. I remember one touch in particular. He sort of like, there was someone, I think it was Pookie, chasing him down. He just sort of touched it really, really gently, and he sent him the wrong way. But it wasn't like a fake shot or anything. He just little touch, and he sent him the wrong way, and then just passed it out really comfortably. And that's the sort of little things that are really reassuring about him.
And Ryan, it's funny. It's good that you mentioned that actually, because that was going to be my point. In this day and age now, we all talk about a ball playing goalkeeper. Now, don't we? That's like the big in thing, like the big trend in football managers. Obviously, you've got Edison at Man City doing it. Alisson's not too bad, but like basically, you look at the top goalkeepers in the world in the Premier League. They're all good with their feet, and they're all they've got great distribution. Like Edison's distribution is ridiculous. And what would you? Let's start with you, Ryan. What do you think? Bobby Sanchez has got that right now, or do you think he's still yet to learn that side of the game in terms of distribution and that kind of stuff?
I think his passing's not always that good. I think when he does those little drop kicks, they're good. They're always pretty much accurate. But when he does his goal kicks, they can be a little bit dodgy.
I remember he did one, his best... the drop kick at Palace, remember, to put Welbeck through.
Those drop kicks are normally really accurate. Like, he seems to get them pretty much spot on every time, which is good. Goal kicks could probably be improved. Like, if I was to be saying, what he could be improving on. But I'd say the best attribute that he has in terms of distribution is definitely, them little touches. Those little that first time touch. He uses his chest as well. He catches it really calmly. Those sort of things, and then just plays it out really, really simply. And that's a hard trait to come by. Not many goalkeepers have that naturally, particularly so young. And that's something that, as you say, like the likes of Ederson, Donnarumma, those sort of goalkeepers, world-class goalkeepers have. But yeah, he's got the world-class attributes. It's just, he's got a lot to learn in that,
Even when Ben
some
Gibson,
of it's not always perfect, of course.
Ben Gibson's like long-range strike. Like, look, unbelievable. It's a great strike from a centre-back like him. And you see, just see Sanchez, just literally jump so casually.
Caught it, didn't he?
It was going top corner. He's that's mine. Yeah, cheers.
Yeah.
So
I thought that was going in as well. I thought that was a great strike. There's a lot of power behind that. He just caught it so comfortably.
That's what I mean. He doesn't. Sometimes in the past we've had goalkeepers sometimes occasionally Matty Ryan. Sometimes when he used to go up for when he used to go up for aerial, as in like a corner or set pieces, basically. Sometimes I used to fear something because the way he used to jump and I just didn't feel safe.
Yeah, he was not big enough for it. That's why.
Yeah,
he just wasn't big enough.
Whereas with Sanchez, I'm like, he's commanding, he's confident. Like, he'll go up there and he'll grab it and he'll be like, that's my ball. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he gives that
many
aura
claims
of,
as well.
Yeah.
Against Norwich, the amount of claims he was making is really, really reassuring. Like, it's bad that we have to compare the claims because, it goes to show that we haven't really had a goalkeeper as good as Sanchez for a long time. But with Matty Ryan, like, I'm not even doing this to slate Matty because I know that I got stick for slating him back when he left. But, I mean, he's nowhere near as good as Robert Sanchez at all. I mean, in pretty much anything that he does, he's nowhere near the kicking and the claiming. The claiming's a massive, massive part of the confidence of the entire back line. And if you've got a goalkeeper 100%. That's not even looking commanding in the box, I mean, what hope have we actually got, So, yeah, I agree with his claims. I can think of multiple. And obviously, Norwich aren't a small side either. They've got some big centre-halves, and obviously Pukki's quite a big centre-forward. So, he was solid again against Norwich, I thought.
Yeah. No, he's like Ben said, his ceiling is very high, and I'm excited to see his development. Right,
can't
boys,
wait to get 50 million for him, or more. Hopefully more by the time he leaves.
Yeah. And then finally, boys, let's get on to the Man City preview. Of course, we're under no illusion. It's definitely our toughest test to date.
City's toughest test to date.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Top four battle. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's just do the Norwich preview, but replace Norwich's name with City. We'll just get absolutely slated by City fans.
City
we should be beating teams like City.
Oil money, no
we should be beating teams like
oil
City,
money.
Boys,
they're just literally an irrelevant club. Like, they've got no fans to attack me.
Kevin De Bruyne FC. Kevin De Bruyne.
Kevin De Bruyne is just the worst version of like Yakamoda.
Pascal Gross.
Manager's a fraud.
Pascal Gross.
Fraudiola. On a serious note.
Right.
On a serious note, we beat them at home last season. Can we do it again? Probably not, in my opinion. But we've seen stranger things.
Stranger Things.
Have you seen Stranger Things? I haven't watched Stranger Things, mate, personally. But
I've seen. I have actually.
Great series.
It gets rubbish after.
But obviously, like Ben said, apart from, I mean, I was just about to say we're pretty good against City, but then I've just looked a bit further back, and I'm not going to stick with that statement. However, in the last season, we've been half decent.
In the last season,
we do better than like Burnley and Norwich and all them lot do. They always turn up to the Etihad, or even at home, and they get battered 5-0, like an annual thing.
Percy Tau made a good turn against Zinchenko. That's still in the memory. That says quite a lot.
Last season aside, we've lost 5-0, 4-0, and 4-1. So we're not doing too great in that department. However, last season, it was positive. We only lost 1-0. I remember watching that game. I think Percy Tau came on, didn't he? Or did he play? And I remember we only lost 1-0, and we actually played really well. It was one of those 1-0 losses where we actually played really well, and we didn't really deserve to lose 1-0.
Probably deserved to get some.
It should have been a draw. And then, of course, we all know 3-2. What a game that was. Stadium was rocking. Big result. And we obviously deserved to win that game.
a long time, definitely.
So fingers crossed, like 100%. We get that, from last season. We can hopefully we've shown this season we built from that in terms of I think we're a better team. We're more confident. We're obviously putting more chances away than we were last season. So why, like, I know it's not realistic, and Man City, like Ryan said, on paper should be winning, and they probably will do. However, why can't we go into the game thinking, well, we've done it before. Why can't we do it again? Because we've come on more leaps and bounds from last season. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, no, I think we're showing that we can grind out results now, and it would be nice if we actually went to City and really didn't have to play them off the park, but just outdid them on the night. And I think that's the sort of result I'm hoping for. I think I put it on. Well, I was going to put it on Twitter anyway, and I was going to say I reckon we'll just grind them out. I actually think we could win this game, and I think it'll be 1 goal.
Shit!
I do, and I think it's going to be tough, obviously, and I think City are by far one of the best teams in the league. Behind probably
in the world,
Chelsea and Liverpool. I mean, it's a literal toss up, but yeah, I'm confident in the weirdest way because I know that I know that we'll probably lose 4-0 now. I've said it, but there's nothing to lose. Like if we lost to Norwich, it's big. It's like, oh god, we lost to Norwich. But if we lose to City, oh well, life goes on. Like we're not expected to beat them, but if we do, we're gonna be buzzing, and we've got every reason to be. So
yeah. I mean,
I think it could be a one goal in it, and I wouldn't be surprised if we nicked it. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, look, I'll be buzzing with a draw. If we can get a draw against Man City, that'd be buzzing. Because obviously they drew against Southampton, didn't they? 0-0, that gives me kind of confidence. The fact that Southampton drew with them 0-0 earlier in the season. Well, not too long ago, like 3 or 4 games ago. So if they can do it, why can't we? Kind of thing. So my realistic prediction is a draw. I can't see us beating them. I mean, if we do, obviously amazing. But yeah, I think a realistic, a hopeful, a pessimistic, not pessimistic. A positive outlook is a draw. But yeah, you never know with these things. Ben, for me, what's your prediction for the game?
They haven't been leaking too many goals. Like I'm looking at their recent results. Like maybe you could argue when they played Leipzig, they conceded 3 in the Champions League. But other than that, so beat Burnley 2-0. Okay, drew with Liverpool, but 2-2 conceded there. Didn't concede against Chelsea. Didn't concede against Southampton. Didn't concede against Leicester. Didn't concede against Arsenal, Norwich. Oh, they lost to Spurs. Sugar.
Yeah,
anyway, you get my point. They haven't really been conceding too many goals, and we other than the past few games, we were the clinical team.
Like you said, Ben, with the 13 clean sheets earlier, only Man City and Chelsea have got the better record. So only those 2 sides in 2021 have got a better clean sheet record.
Nailed on 0-0. I'll say that. I'll say that.
No, 0-0.
We're already in Pep's head from last time out, where Potter managed to rattle him so hard. So. We're already in his head. We won the mind games. Let's just do it again. I don't know. I feel like there's something in it. 2-1. I think 2-1.
2-1 Brighton.
Jesus. I think Grealish is going to score against us just because he always does, right?
He loves it, yeah.
He always scores against us, but I think it'll be all right. Because it'll be so Brighton to struggle against Norwich. We obviously dominated Arsenal. Struggled against Palace, but got a result. I just feel like there's a bit of a pattern here. We struggled, then did well. Struggled, then going to do well. Right?
I think kick-off underneath the lights as well. 5. It's not as late evening
5:30 under the lights. Oh, I'm excited, man.
Yeah,
it's going to be a good night.
I think no matter what happens, it's going to be 2 very positive attacking teams. Like that's what I think we should give ourselves credit. Is that the fact that we're actually going against. I'd much rather us go for the game against City and lose rather than sitting back trying to get a draw. Trying to be negative and just be like a 5-man at the back. And obviously,
if we sit back like we've done in previous years, that's like under Houghton. Like no disrespect, but you can't expect us to always go at them. But under Houghton, we would go to the Etihad, sit back and shit 4.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
So which most teams do, but for me, I don't know. I don't think we can concede. I don't think we'll score against them. Unfortunately, I think it'll be like 2-0 City for me.
We spoke about the results with City as well. I think it was Potter's season where we lost 4-0 away. I think, and then I don't know how we did at home. I can't just remember how we did at home. Maybe it was like a 2-0 or something. But I seem to remember the 4-0 away, right? Do you remember it was like the scoreline did not reflect the result? And I think I remember that Pep afterwards was saying generally that was the toughest game that they've played, and it was just not like a 4-0 game at all. And it was only because of Sergio Aguero and those sort of clinical players as to why they beat us by so many. But But if you actually watch that game, like there was nothing in it, and you compare our team then to now, and I think with City, okay, we said about the results normally a bit not great, but I think we've showed that we can outdo Pep on the day. We've showed we can do it. Obviously, Potter's like his biggest fan and all that sort of thing, and it seems as though Pep's Potter's biggest fan at the same time. They've got like this weird rival respect at the same time. But yeah, I've got confidence. I don't know. I think you can tell. I genuinely think that we could get something because that's just how our season's going. Everything seems to just be going well. So I think we can do something.
Just to sort of reiterate how what an uphill task this is going to be. We've only beaten Man City once ever in the Premier League, and that was last season. So yeah, it's never going to it's never going to be an easy game. However, we've done it now. We've broken the curse.
Yeah, we've broken the curse.
So
we hadn't beaten Leicester in the Premier League, and then we go and beat them. We beat Norwich twice when they were up, then we didn't beat them. It doesn't mean anything. Yeah. So yeah, let's just go take them on.
Let's be positive, boys. But yeah, we're gonna go what? Draw, win, Brighton win. Right?
No, I said 2-0 City.
Yeah.
Oh, 2-0 City. Okay. Yeah. 2-1 Brighton, Ryan, and then I'm gonna go 0-0. Yeah, just to be positive. Yeah. But I'm with Ben. I feel like
really.
I was gonna say 0-0. I was gonna say 0-0, but like City are gonna score. Let's be honest. We're good at the back.
Okay, I'm gonna go 1-0. I'm gonna go 1-0. I'm gonna go 1-0.
Okay.
Yeah, 1-0. Anyway, right, boys. Listen, another great pod. Of course. We're going to be back. Hopefully, we're going to try and get some more guests on as well. So for the Newcastle game, we're having a guest, Kendall, who's a big Newcastle fan. So we're going to get Kendall on the pod, and then we're going to try and secure some more other guests as well. Yeah. So yeah, just be on the watch. And any other suggestions? Let us know in the comments down below if you're watching on YouTube. Please do let us know who you would want to see in the upcoming weeks. If we can make it happen, we'll try our best. We've got Ryan, who's the plug. We've got Ben, who's the boy, and I'm also trying to get
the human being as well.
Also, got Magic God Dog.
Can we do this at the end?
Yeah, before we go.
We actually have got a guest on today.
We have actually got a guest. Now,
he hasn't barked either. I'm really surprised.
I know.
Rufio!
I don't know if you've noticed, yeah. I've been looking down at him the whole time because he kept coming next to me. But basically, he's got really bad separation anxiety, so he always got to be near me. But Rufio, say hi to all the Seagulls Social viewers. Yeah, no, okay, all right. He's not going to do much. Yeah, everyone, Rufio, Seagulls Social, Rufio. Peace out.
Whack it in the comments. That's what you're commenting this week, but in capitals, you have to put Rufio.
Rufio. And if anyone who's not watching on YouTube, you're probably thinking, what the hell's going on? But I just showed you my new dog, who's the boy. Rufio.
Yeah, if you're listening to Spotify and Apple, get on YouTube right now and go to like the 40th minute.
Just to see the cutest, fluffiest dog you'll ever see in your life. And for anyone who doesn't know, you boys, do you know Rufio, where that comes from?
Yeah,
bit of trivia.
I do.
All right, Ben, Ryan, do you know Rufio, where that comes from?
I've heard the name, but I don't know where I've heard it from.
Basically, it's from the film Hook with Robin Williams. And one of the characters who's he's part of the Lost Boys, like the gang, the Lost Boys, and he's like the leader of it. And then, really sadly, he does die, which really broke my heart.
Why are you spoiling it for the Maz?
I'm sorry, mate. Well, I'm sure everyone's watched Hook before. However, he's the boy, man like Rufio, and like ever growing up, I was always like, I love Rufio. So like, if I was ever to get a pet, that's the first name. And then I've given the unofficial surname of Clivert, Rufio Clivert, because growing up, Patrick Clivert was one of my favourite players. Patrick Clivert was one of my favourite players growing up. So I was like, I've got to try and get Clivert.
Such a random person to love.
I know. I don't know why.
Was that time at Barca or Newcastle?
Yeah, Barca. Yeah, it was his time at Barcelona, and for some reason I just loved him as a striker. And, really strange. Like, he was like my first sort of like my favourite player, which is a bit of a strange one. But anyway, boys and girls. Thank you very much for listening and watching. Of course, as per usual, like, comment and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and keep streaming it on Apple and Spotify. And boys, last week I remembered we didn't do a comment down below.
We did this week, did we? I was going to say, this week it has to just be Rufio. Everyone needs to put it in capitals and go Rufio.
Rufio capitals.
But also, I saw someone comment on. I'm sorry for forgetting your name, but someone commented, "Can someone do timestamps?" I don't have time to do timestamps like within YouTube. So if anyone watching here wants to take on the role of doing timestamps for the podcast and put them in the comments,
we'll forever love
you. We will pin you. We will pin it every single week.
First job role going out from Seagulls Social.
Yeah, you're not getting paid. You're not getting paid. But it's love. You'll have your comment pinned every single week.
You get paid in love.
If you do it,
you get paid in love. Yeah,
we'll give you a follow.
I'll send you a Snapchat every single day, and and so will Maz of his dog. There you go.
Yeah. If you want to see Rufio content,
subscribe to Rufio's OnlyFans and you get free membership.
Stop trying to solicit my dog. Right. But boys and girls, it's been an absolute pleasure, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.